Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all senior high school students. Practical Research 1, welcome to Practical Research 1. We are in Lesson 1, Content of Scope and Delimitation. Again, and I am Dr. Annabeth Lopez. So, I expect that you will find a comfortable place where you can watch, listen, and understand this lesson. Get ready with your notebook, with your ball pen, and jot down important information. And each activity is given only 10 minutes to provide your answer. If you have some questions, please comment down below, and I'll try to answer them once. Number 3, every answer should be submitted to our Google Online Classroom. If there is no Google Online Classroom, using your practical research notebook, and you may also check your correct answer by downloading the link provided here. I will provide maybe when you are done with all of the activities I have given. All right, now moving forward, our goal is to indicate scope and delimitation of research. So what is scope and delimitation of research, and how do we write down scope and delimitation? So first, let us have a pretest. Read the statement carefully and write true if the statement is true. And if it's false, write false. Write your answer in your notebook. Number 1, in writing scope and delimitation, you need to write everything, including the background of the study. Number 2, scope and delimitation includes a brief discussion on research method use. Number 3, there is a rigid format of writing scope and delimitation. 4, scope and delimitation provides readers the whole process of the research. 5, research design is not declared on your scope and delimitation. 6, data analysis is declared on your scope and delimitation. 7, research local has to be disclosed in scope and delimitation. 8, the population of the study is included on scope and delimitation. 9, the researcher can be considered as an instrument in data gathering. And 10, scope provides parameter, coverage, and the processes involved in the research. In thesis writing, there is a specific part of it that reveals, recognizes, share, and expresses the method used, coverage, parameter, instruments, persons involved, and even the protocols to follow. This is called scope and delimitation. As defined, it explains the extent or parameter of research. Likewise, it explores on the coverage and processes involved in the research. Practically, it declares the choices that the researcher carried out during the research process. On this discussion, you will be familiarized with the elements included in the scope and delimitation. Let us try to figure out this adventures of Bok and Nonoy. Bok, can you see the scope or his scope? Wait, I can see his delimitation. I am the greatest scientist. What? You have learned to formulate research questions. Now, you will be making the scope and delimitation of your research. In the comic strip, it has depicted how Bok and Nonoy tried to discover the secret of Pitoy, which includes the process, methods, instruments, and techniques in doing his experiments. Relating it with research, the scope and delimitation is a specific part that summarizes the method, design, techniques, local instruments, population, process in analyzing the data, and the like. Gear up yourself because you will learn the components of scope and delimitation. Now, let us first dissect scope and delimitation. When we talk about the scope of research, it commonly refers to the depth of your research area or parameters. This includes restriction of the target population, research local, specified duration, design, procedure, and instrument use. What is population? According to Mahid 2018, this stands for the entire pool from which the sample is drawn. Like, for example, A, schools operating in Bataan, private and public. B, senior high school students of a school. C, grade 10 students in a school division. C, Grade 10 letter D, tricycle drivers operating in a barangay. Letter E, all working students in a grade level. When we say research local, it refers to the particular location where the study is conducted. Lamao National High School, Dinalupihan, Schools Division of Bataan Region 3, Central Luzon, Pampanga, Balanga City, Limay Senior High School, University of the Assumption Barangay, St. Francis II. So for the specific duration, this stands for the exclusive time frame when the research is conducted. Example, May 20 to 22, 2020, school year 2020 to 2021, from 2015 to 2020, from January 2020 to May 2020. 2020. Okay. Next is research method. When we say research method, it refers to the systematic plan for conducting research, which includes strategies, process, techniques, and procedures for collecting and analyzing data. According to MacDonald and Headlam, 2008, here are the four most commonly used qualitative designs that you can use. Number one, ethnography. Ethnography, if your research is about a description or investigation about customs of individual and culture, this design can be used. Phenomenology. Phenomenology. If your research is about the commonality of lived experience or life experience within a group of individuals or description of a particular phenomenon, this research design can be used. Case study. If your research is about an investigation of phenomenon within the context of real-life situation, you can use this design. Grounded theory. If your research aims toward a development of a theory in an inductive manner, you can use this design by Van der Stoep and Johnston, 2009. Protocols followed. This refers to the standard procedure, system, or rule that you follow in gathering data. It can be the permission in the conduct of the study, communication letter to the respondents, or agreement on the conduct of interview. Number 6, data gathering procedure. This refers to the step-by-step procedures that you employ before and during the data gathering. 7, instrument. These are the measurement devices that you use in your research. It can be in a form of test, survey, questionnaire, and the like. However, in qualitative research, you as the researcher is the instrument and your interview guide serve as a tool in gathering data by Baharami, Solaimini, Yagzubadi, and Ranjbar 2016. Number 8 is data analysis. These are the systematical processes you employ to describe or interpret your data. It can be thematic, network analysis, dendrogramming, structural analysis, text analysis, and Colliza procedure. On the other hand, when we talk about delimitation, it refers to choices made by researcher that serves as boundary. This includes research objectives, questions, variables, theoretical objectives you adopted, target samples, and justifications that limits the scope of the study. Commonly, research objectives and description of variables are mentioned, while research questions are just reflected on the set objectives. Variables are also explained and declared, as well as saan na tayo? As well as to the theoretical objectives of the study. On the other hand, sampling method, target sample size, and justification in choosing the above scope are provided to clearly set the parameter of the study. In some researches, instead of scope and delimitation, they use scope and limitation. The term limitation is about the external and internal influences that researcher has no control of it. They can be shortcomings, conditions, or influences that cannot be avoided due to the limitation of the study. Thus, this limitation is a declaration of the possible influences to the result of the study. Ay, sorry. Isipan ako eh. So, let us help Book in organizing his scope and delimitation by categorizing the idea he is thinking. Write whether it is objective, population, sampling, research local, specific duration, research method, protocols followed, data gathering procedure, instrument, or data analysis. Write your answers on your notebook. So, ayun yung mga pagpipilian nyo. Balikan nyo na lang mga anak. So, after answering, if for example you are done, read each sentence carefully, write true if the statement is true, and if false, write false or letter T and F only. Number one, data analysis is a systematic process of interpreting data. Number two, protocols are the standard procedure or rules that researchers follow in data gathering. Three, grounded theory is an investigation of a phenomenon within the context of real-life situation. Four, ethnology is the investigation of the or description of individual customs and culture. Five, phenomenology refers to the exclusive time frame when the research is conducted. Read carefully the scope and delimitation below. Write A if the underlined population and underlined word is population, B for research local, C for specific duration, or D for research method. E for protocols followed, F for data gathering procedure, G for instrument, H for research objective, and I for data analysis. So write your answer on your notebook. So this is qualitative study employed a phenomenological research design. So what's the answer for number one? According to Creswell 2013, it was an approach directed to the similarities of the life experiences among a particular group. The main objective was to come up with an explanation of the nature of a particular phenomenon. So what is number two? Next, moreover, Manen, as cited in Finlay 2013, this research design started with the interest and desire of the researcher, transforming it into epistemic inquiry. Likewise, this was geared toward a broader it into epistemic inquiry. Towards a broader understanding of a specific phenomenon, whether it was live experience, event, or even a situation. Hence, this study explored in-depth examination of the live experiences of novice teachers as it unveiled their Lebenswelt or world life and Weltanschauung or worldview on handling verbal bullying inside the classroom. Data gathering was delimited to So data gathering was delimited to one of the integrated middle school in the province of Bataan, Philippines. What's that? Ay. So that would be all. So please advance information, pass your notebook every Friday. As soon as you answered it, you can pass it earlier. And we can check it and we can have our question and answer portion. So you will have a deeper understanding what is scope and delimitation and how are you going to write this. So we're going to actually apply this in our classroom. So please answer the following and thank you so much for watching and listening. Like, share, and subscribe. Bye-bye.